Happy 4th of July, everybody. It's the Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful Sunday, the 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. And Pete Thompson is in the house, and we're both wearing red today.
It's the right color to wear. Of course, mine has Phillies. Yours has the logo of the show, but that's all right.
It's all right. We're,
Happy 4th, Billy.
Hey, Pete, it's good to see you. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter today, and you can check out Pete Thompson once again is coiffed
Oh,
with
you know what?
With a little,
I did
little
this wrong.
product.
I do have some product in. I did my hair this morning, but
I heard you. By the way, I heard you on the. I heard you're going to wear the hat today, the West Wing.
Here's why: because this is my patriotic hat, my West Wing hat. You know.
So this is our 4th of July celebration show.
Yes,
and we're going to do some things throughout the show that are a little patriotic.
Okay.
And I tell you what, 4th of July for me is a great memory, a great celebration, great memory as a kid. I remember, when I was like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, decorating the bike. I saw Ocean City at a bike parade the other day. We used to do that all the time. We used to you used to get cars, baseball cars.
Yeah, put them in the spokes.
Put them in the spokes, and then weave your spokes with red, white, and blue streamers and all kinds of things coming off your handlebars.
Hey, every year, I grew up in Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania, and every year White Marsh Township had a big 4th of July parade, and we would parade down in that. And my very first memory of ever being in the parade, I was on the library float. Right, the William Jeans Library float, and we were supposed to go as characters from some literature that we liked.
Right.
So I went as like Winnie the Pooh, or maybe I was Christopher Robin. I can't remember, right? But I got to tell you, Billy, that my mom made up. God bless her, may she rest in peace. She made up this big pot, right, that said "Honey," H-U-N-E-Y,
right, and
then in the thing, we bought a bajillion pieces of Bazooka Joe gum, right? So you could, because that's the thing, nowadays you can't do that, right? But you would throw out, so the kids wanted you to throw out the gum. Well, little did young Peter Thompson know that every kid on the parade route was going to be like, Peter, throw me gum, Peter, throw me gum. So I figured, and I'm a kid, right? I don't understand how to budget this stuff. Dude, I didn't even make it like a quarter of the way through the parade route, and that gum was gone.
So obviously, fireworks play a big role in our celebration. I'm surprised the Phillies didn't have fireworks last night.
I thought they were gonna. I'm not sure.
I don't think they had it planned.
Yeah,
Pete.
I'm not sure why they didn't have fireworks.
I think I heard the Phillies have it planned for the 16th of July. I don't know why that would be. I know today's a getaway day.
Okay,
right, where they go to Chicago tomorrow for 3.
Yeah, that could have a lot to do with it.
But last night, we didn't need the fireworks because the Phillies provided fireworks for us last night.
That's true. They did. And look, it's about time that the Phillies come out on top in a few, right? It's about time that, they find somebody. I mean, they won back-to-back games for the first time since
June, I think.
Yeah, way back in June.
Way back in June.
So, I mean, thank God, quite frankly, because, look, if they're ever going to make a move, now's the time to make a move. The NL East has sat there like a ripe tomato,
right.
Just there for the plucking.
Let's think about this, Pete. What are we, 80 games in, something like 79, 80, 81 games into the season? We're only 4 games out, as bad as this team has played. And this is the positive spin on it. Because I'm like Reese Hoskins. Let's just talk about the positive. Why do we always have to talk about the negative? Well, let's talk about a little positive. As bad as this team has played, as bad as this team has pitched, to only be 4 games out by 4th of July, I think, look, they're only 2 games under 500, Pete.
Yep. It's pretty unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. They're right. The National League East is there for the taking. If this team can just eliminate half the errors, Pete.
They took the lead in the 6th last night, and then they actually held it in the 7th and the 8th. So, therefore, Joe Girardi had his worst nightmare. Who the hell's going to close this thing?
Who's going to close this thing?
Who is going to close this thing? Was it Hector Neris? Nope, been there, done that, right? How about Jose Alvarado? Remember, that's the guy he said is going to be the closer. 100-mile fastball, but, he's kind of like Calvin Ebby, Nuclear Lelouch, Alvarado is. He has no idea where it's going. So he went to Ranger Suarez, right? Ranger Suarez never had a save ever before. And what do you know? He came in and got the job done, and Ranger Suarez threw strikes, and boom, they win back-to-back games for the first time since June 9th to the 13th. So that's great.
All right, so Eflin gets a win yesterday. Improves his record to 3-6. Pretty good outing yesterday. There was a rain delay. I'm under the impression.
A rain delay. I think there were multiple rain delays.
2 hours and some minutes, right?
No, but I think there was more than
one.
Right.
Right.
I think there was
the
one
beginning of the game was delayed.
That is correct. And then there was a rain delay.
And by the way, I did my part, and I took the Padres yesterday.
Oh, very good. Yes,
that's what I do.
Right, Billy, taking one for the team. That's what we
taking
like
one
you
for
to
the
do.
team. I took the San Diego Padres and the under. I figured Hugh Darvish was on the mound. This team has a hard problem hitting, right? Scoring runs. I figured the bullpen under 8. I thought maybe would be realistic for yesterday, but I feel like I did my part.
I mean, Harper, another solo home run. Hoskins with another solo home run.
14 home runs, all solo.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
I don't think remember a time?
Well, you know what that says, though, is it says that he's not having trouble. It's the people in front of him they have to get on base. They got to set the table for him, and they're not doing that. And that's why he's got so many solo shots, But JT Realmuto, who was struggling severely with that key triple off the right field wall, and then that sac fly by Harper, they put a bunch of things together and strung some things together in the 6th.
And then how about the Milwaukee Bucks? We now have a matchup between the Suns and the Bucks.
I love that matchup, quite frankly, because listen, that's the first time Milwaukee's been in the finals since 1974. I was 3. How old were you, Mr. Schweim? In 1974, how old were you?
13.
You jerk. You're a decade older than me. No wonder everything hurts on you. 1974. So we're talking like Lou Alcindor is who we're talking about, right? And then the Phoenix Suns. Listen, Charles Barkley took the Phoenix Suns to the NBA Finals, and they ran into this brick wall known as Jordan. Right. So you got to figure. Did you see, by the way, my girlfriend Susan? Happy 4th, honey. Did you see that? How much tickets are going for?
No, I did not.
Like there's a retweet or something. There's some on social media that somebody wanted $89,000 for a courtside seat.
$89,000.
Are you kidding me? That's like 2 Porsches. Not one, but 2.
So funny you should bring up money because yesterday my good buddy Mark Rhymes sent me. He's a realtor in Ocean City.
Sure.
Just sold a record for a house, a sale.
Okay.
$12 million on Wesley Avenue in Ocean City.
Whoa.
It's the biggest sale ever in the city. So I said to Grimes,
good job, Grimes.
Wow. Who are these people? Where are they getting the money? Who are these people? He goes, Billy, the money's out there. Now, I know courtside seats at the Sixers game are going for $4,000, right?
Yeah,
anywhere between 2 and 4.
I've never seen that.
But $89,000.
I don't think I've even seen that for like a Super Bowl before. That's unbelievable.
So the Bucks win 118-107. Trae Young came back and played. Not only caught a little bit of the action last night because I was up working, but
you work?
Well, yeah, we did. We were on the boardwalk.
Sounds like a 4-letter word.
I also work at the parking lot, Pete.
Yeah, I know that.
I heard you guys on the Gill Show.
What?
Sports Bash. Give me a hard time the other day.
What? It was all Gill. It wasn't me. What did we say?
By the way, my movie selections were good yesterday. The other day.
Yeah, the North Shore.
Dude, that's a surfing movie. That's a surfer cult movie.
That's great.
Okay, if you surf, if you live on the coast, everybody knows what North Shore is.
All right.
If you're,
you could have said Point Break if you wanted to say a surfing
that's another
movie.
one I've watched. Look, I didn't limit it. I just picked the 5 that I came off the top of my head.
Right.
I've watched several movies.
What was in there?
Over.
Kelly's Heroes.
Yeah.
Of course, that was in there.
That's one of the best movies of all time. War movies.
So you're excited for the Bucks? Chris Middleton was a big.
No, I'm not excited for the Bucks. I'm glad they got there.
Right. What, you wanted the Hawks?
No, I didn't want the Hawks because they beat us.
Dude, you need one of the 2 teams to advance. No. Which one were you pulling?
No, I wasn't pulling for anybody. I said I didn't get my bet in last night. I wasn't pulling for anybody.
Okay, it's all about
now
your
that
bets.
the Bucks are in, that's fine. But I want the Suns to win.
Okay. I think it's a great story. You know what I mean? Like I said, the Bucks haven't been in since 1974. Phoenix hasn't been in since Charles Barkley was still playing. I think it's a great story for the NBA. I think it'll make great theater. The question is how much can Giannis give him? And can he give him anything? How bad is that knee injury is really the question.
Well, it's an ACL, correct?
Well, that's the question.
That's what they're saying. And if you ACLs, I think that's even worse than having a meniscus.
Because you're a hockey guy. When I was in Omaha, there was a guy that partially tore his ACL, and he was like one of the best players. He was like the sniper on the team. His name was Jeff Hogan. And I'll never forget that they basically shot it up with cortisone, did everything they could, and Jeff went out there and won a series against Ohio State. You know,
well, I wonder what the severity of the tear was, but listen, you brace it up. Hockey. By the way, I think Steve Eiserman blew out his posterior.
Right.
Mostly
PCL, right?
Yeah,
ACL,
he played
MCL,
with that. I remember
PCL.
that.
Those are the three.
There's four. You have four major.
Aha! Somebody who knows a little more about the knee than me.
Lateral, collateral, posterior, and anterior.
Oh, geez.
Okay,
it's almost like both your knees are toast.
They are.
I wonder how come you know so much about this subject.
Because I was awake every time they went in for the arthroscope. They explain everything to you. Wait, we got a great show lined up today.
Yes.
Our 4th of July special. We're going to talk with a former Phillies relief pitcher from the 2008 World Series championship team, Scott Eyre.
Love him, man. Scott Eyre is my guy. I can remember when they were going to the World Series in 08, and he was one of my go-to guys for interviews at that point. And then ever since then, anytime he comes back in town, I text him or, give him a little hello. He's down in Florida now, and I know he was coaching.
No, I think he's back. He's living in North Carolina now.
Really?
Yes, and he's also coaching baseball.
Yeah, now that part I knew. He's still actively involved in coaching baseball and stuff. I didn't know he got out of Florida. So
I don't know if he watches that many Phillies games. I don't think he does, but that's not why we're getting him on, because I want to get the mentality of the bullpen pitcher.
Yeah.
Yesterday we had Craig Berube on.
How was that?
The Chief, and he's always a unique character. But I wanted to get his perspective on the Stanley Cup, and because he told me when I spoke to him off during the week that he said Tampa Bay is going to sweep the Canadians. They got too much, and lo and behold,
sure enough,
the Lightning are up 3-0.
By the way, I'm sitting here talking about Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in those $74. You know who else was on that team? The other marquee player, because you always need two, right?
Yeah, I can't remember.
How about the Big O, Oscar Robertson?
Oscar Robertson
was on that team in 74.
So he went from the Knicks to
retired after the end of that season. Then a year later, Jabbar got dealt to the Lakers.
Can you give me some of the other?
The end of that.
Was Sidney Moncrief on that team
in 74?
No,
I don't think so, but
Sidney
I can look it up.
Moncrief. You remember him, right?
Sure.
He was a big buck.
Sure. I mean, I remember Jack Sikma too.
Jack Sikma.
1974 Milwaukee Bucks roster and stats. Stand by.
Give me some names, Pete, because 74, if I remember correctly. No, I guess Moncrief was in the 80s.
All right. You've got Kareem. You've got Oscar Robertson. You've got who else are some of the players here? Terry Driscoll, Dick Cunningham, Lucius Allen. I don't know many of these names. Mickey Davis, Dick Garrett. Who else was in the league a long time at that point? God, not many. They're mostly 5- and 4-year players at that point. Chuck Terry, Cornell Warner,
no, I don't recognize
Ron Williams.
Any of those names.
Gil would know Ron Williams because he was out of West Virginia.
And then
seriously, that's it. Like if you're just the casual fan looking at their roster, you know Kareem and Oscar Robertson, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you got.
And then throughout this show, we're going to be playing some.
They lost to the Celtics in 7, by the way.
We'll play some patriotic music.
Yeah, I've got a surprise for you. I hope you like it.
And then what else? You have another surprise for us today. What did you do during the week?
I did a little work, man. For all the money that you don't pay me, I actually did a little bit of work. First of all, can we tell that story in less than a minute?
No. Well, let's come back and tell it.
All right, let's come back and tell that story about how Billy put me to work, and it was quite a challenge just getting to the starting line.
All right, the first hour of the locker was powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, with the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. With 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA, that's Surety Title. For more information, call Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the 4th of July edition of The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Unfurl the banner and raise it to the sky. Let eagle cry from mountain high, the never-ending watchword of our nation. Now behold this gem of all the wonder of the western sky, the emblem of the brave into the flag of our liberty, flag of our destiny. Red and white, a starry blue stream out of the banner so high. Every heart will sing apart as all across the land we raise our voices far and near for all to hear the echo of a chorus grand. Every heart will swell with pride to sing of our liberty, sing of our destiny, as with joy we now extol the flag waving over the land. Let us all hail the flag.
Is that the West Point Choir by any chance?
Are you loving that?
I was loving it. I was digging it,
dude.
man.
You liked
I
it
didn't
so
wanna come
much.
back.
I pointed at you twice. And you
Yeah,
were like,
no,
I'm digging
I
this.
love that song.
This is a group that I found a long time ago called Acoustics, ACOUSTIX, Barbershop Quartet.
Wow.
And they've won the Nationals, but this is a great story, actually. In 94, I think, maybe 95, I came home on a vacation in the summertime and borrowed my uncle's car because I had to go to a TV interview in Salisbury, Maryland.
Okay.
So I'm in his red convertible, put the top down, and this was in the CD player.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is the greatest CD I've ever heard in my life.
Wow.
Listen to these guys blend.
Day when our fathers with mighty endeavor proclaimed as a march to
I'm
the
a sucker for this stuff.
fray, by their might and by their righted ways forever.
My brother-in-law and my nephew graduated from West Point. We've been up there several times for Army games and everything like that, graduations. Ever see their chorus is like it'll literally give you chills
and tears,
and
very
tears,
much so.
bring tears in your eyes, send shivers down your back. The patriotic music, My Flag 'Tis of Thee, all the patriotic songs. Maybe we cue that one up. It just unbelievable. It fills you with pride.
So this was my surprise for you that I was going to play this each time. There's about 4 or 5 tracks that they have that are just outstanding.
Now, Pete, I hear a big weekend coming up next weekend. Next weekend, Jimmy Johnson is sponsoring his fishing tournament at Hard Rock, July 12th through 17th. And it's the biggest purse in the world. And Michael Jordan's boat's entered in it.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
You know what
right?
The name of his boat is?
What's that?
Catch 23.
Yeah, there you go. 23. That makes sense. Listen, this is, I think COVID, they've had one of these already.
Well, they're usually down in South Florida.
Yeah, but I mean, why not come up the East Coast?
That's exactly right.
In the one of the original gaming capitals of the world,
Absolutely.
right? If you're going to have a contest, right, do it right here. They're running it through Golden Nugget. It's Jimmy Johnson's world-class fishing tournament,
and the Hard Rock,
right?
too.
Through July. Well, the Nuggets where the marina is. That's all.
Right.
Hard Rock's a big sponsor as well. I apologize. Right. So July 12th to the 19th is the date. So basically, it starts a week from tomorrow, and it's a 3-day tournament, and there's a big kickoff party and a pro-am and an awards bash and all that stuff. So Mead AC's behind it, the Atlantic City Sports Commission, a bunch of other places are behind it.
That's wild.
Yeah, if you want more information, 305-255-35.
You know who's entered a boat?
Who's that?
Mark Grimes.
Oh, there you go.
Grimes
Good
brothers.
luck, Grimes.
The Grimes brothers have a boat that's headed out to the canyon.
Nice.
It's a Blue Marlin, whatever.
That program leads right into my story that we teed up before the break.
Well, I just want to say something to you.
No.
You're telling me, you guys are ripping me. I had no phone service when I was coming down to give you the microphone on the other day, or pick it up, I should say.
Yeah, to pick it up was the problem.
Yeah, I couldn't get my phone. My AT&T went dead.
Okay.
So I couldn't, but that's
what happens when you get an iPhone.
Now, I did not force you.
No, I volunteered to do this, but it was a classic Keystone Cops moment.
But the other day, Friday, you and Gil, really, I mean, you were breaking my stones about the Joe Flacco thing, how he won't come on my show. But he doesn't know. He knows who I am, but he doesn't know me personally.
Right.
I know his father real well.
He doesn't know me personally either.
But I know his father. But here's the thing.
Right.
I know his father really well. I know his best friend and business partner, Froggy Almond, really well.
And what did that get you?
It would be like you and the equivalent. No, he got me Bumpkiss.
Yeah.
And it's funny, and I can't wait to hear the conversation you had about me.
So I went and got interviews at the Ron Jaworski Celebrity Golf Classic last Monday. That's basically the overview of the story.
And you didn't have the proper attachment for your
and I didn't have the proper attachment for the mic. And you said to me, oh, hey, don't worry. I'll give you the microphone, and it plugs right into your phone. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Great. So we agree to meet up. Okay. And I'm giving you a little logistics of like an easy place for you to jump off the AC Expressway and meet me.
Right.
Okay. Fine. Right. So we're going to meet, at the Taco Bell, right? Exit 12, Taco Bell. See you there. So you get off the exit, right? And you come give me the microphone. I go to plug it into my phone. It doesn't fit. That's the first time that we realize, crap,
we got a problem.
You got an iPhone and I got an Android.
Right.
Now it's like, at this point, I'm supposed to be there at 10. At this point, it's like 9:30 or something. And I'm like, well, so I tried to go. You said you got yours at Walmart. And I'm thinking, and I look on the phone, Best Buy doesn't open till 10. Great. So I go to Target, nothing. But the lady couldn't have been nicer. I mean, but she's like, no, we don't have that. So then there's a Walmart over there in Mays Landing. I drive over to the Walmart. And the lady, I find somebody to actually help me, and I'm looking around, and she comes out and says, well, we have one of those, but it's only for the iPhone. Well, that does me no good.
Right.
So now, I didn't know this culture or community existed. I'm one of the 10 people standing outside Best Buy waiting for the damn store to open at 10 a.m. Like, and I see somebody, they've got like a computer or something like they're going to return, and they're like, they're jonesing to be the first one in. I'm like, good Lord. It's like picking the wrong toll lane. I'm going to be behind this jerk, right? So they open the doors up, right? Everybody kind of filters into where they want to go. I find the first salesperson I can and said to her, hey, this is what I'm looking for, blah, blah, blah. And she kind of has that thing like, I can't leave my position. What I didn't realize is she's like the register. She's like the one checkout person. So no wonder she was reluctant to leave. But she takes over, we go over to the wall. She's looking at stuff. She's kind of looking. And there's a lot of empty spaces. And I'm thinking, we're going to strike out. They had one. They had one attachment. It worked. Beautiful. We got the microphone. So in the show today, we will have interviews from Mickey Morandini, Mike Quick, Ron Jaworski, of course. I was thrilled to finally meet Greg Roman. I've talked to him via text. I've had him on the radio before. Greg Roman, Holy Spirit grad, and now the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens.
When you sent me the picture, I didn't even recognize him.
Well, it's awesome because I think his mom still has a place in Ventnor. I know at one point when I was at TV 40, Roman, his first iteration with Baltimore, he had gotten let go when Brian Billick was the coach.
Okay.
But, again, this dream thing that's never happened to me. Just once in my life, I want to get paid, not to work. So he was under contract, so he was still getting paid. So what did he do? He came back and helped Holy Spirit out. And what's cool about that is like Joe Callahan, who's been in the league before, that was one of the quarterbacks he worked with. Greg Roman is really known as a quarterback whisperer. He had Andrew Luck at Stanford and made him into a pro quarterback. He had this guy, Colin Kaepernick, when he was at the 49ers. And now he's worked with Lamar Jackson and has turned Lamar Jackson into something in Baltimore. So we'll hear from Greg Roman. And then also on the list, John Runyon, who's on now.
Every one of these guys you're naming, with the exception of Roman, have been a guest on the Locker Room.
Sure. Well, okay. But the last guy hasn't, and his name is Joe Flacco. And I was thrilled.
I have had Joe on once.
Yeah.
Well, and that was like when I first got here to 97.3 ESPN.
Not lately.
So we'll look forward to that. We'll do that in the second hour.
Sounds good. We got
plenty so we're gonna have a lot to talk about. We got some patriotic music, got a whole lot going on. We got Scott Eyre coming up. I do want to talk to Scott about the mentality of being in the bullpen.
Yeah.
We don't get past the numbers with Scott. We'll talk about the actual the psyche of being a reliever.
Sure.
Because, quarterbacks, pitchers, goalies, they're all a little wacky, right?
Yeah, you got to be a little off if that's what you're volunteering to do. Yes.
All right. The first hour of the Locker Room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, and developers. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts to help you through the whole entire process. From contract signing to closing, the shortest end in the city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you at 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call our good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations. I invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience is not ended at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the mainline, at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with the 2008 World Series champion relief pitcher Scott Eyre. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, 97.3 ESPN, and the mobile app.
If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, if I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away.
Oh, yeah, PT.
Yeah, I knew you'd
PT,
like
you did a
this guy.
great job with this today, because I'm listen to this.
At least I know I'm free.
Take that, Lee Greenwood.
Take that, Lee Greenwood. Oh, man, that's great. Get me in the mood, man. Let's get in the mood. Let's get in the 4th of July mood, especially with our first guest today, because our first guest, he's a great guy, played on the 2008 World Series champion Phillies team. And you know what? I wanted to get in touch with this guy. He's a friend of the show. He's a great guy. I know he's patriotic, but I wanted to get into the mindset, not the numbers, but the mindset of a reliever, because you know what we're going through here with the Philadelphia Phillies. So let's go to the Barb's Harley-Davidson Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room relief pitcher from the 2008 Philadelphia Philly World Series champion, Scott Eyre. What's up, Scott?
What's up, guys? How we doing? Happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July to you. Hey, Scott, what do you put on the barbecue tonight?
I'm not. I'm going to a friend's.
Even better.
Hot dogs and burgers.
All right, it's all American, baby.
I went with the all-American sausage and egg breakfast this morning with some toast. And kind of sitting around now.
Hey, Scott, you know, I tell you, there's nothing like a hot dog at the ballpark. You know, by the way, how about you, Pete? I just use mustard. What do you put it all in there? I just use mustard.
Mustard or,
No, I'm just mustard, strictly mustard. Right. That's it.
No, sometimes I'll put a little relish on there. Just a little bit, just a little taste.
How you been, Scott?
I've been good, man. Not bad. Down, like I told you last time I was on, I think we had just moved to North Carolina, so now I am, since June 6th, I think I got down here. I'm back in Bradenton, Florida, where I spent the last 26 years and raised my kids and the wife, and I live together. We're back here. I'm coaching a collegiate summer league baseball team, the Florida Gulf Coast League. We have a baseball side and a girls softball side, which is, I believe, the only one in the country.
How about that?
For collegiate softball, NCAA girls softball.
Wow. Now, Scott, the reason why we wanted to talk to you today, other than the fact that you're a great friend of the show, you know, you're a relief pitcher. And the mindset, I don't want to talk about the numbers of the Philadelphia Phillies because they're horrible. But, I mean, it's unbelievable what they've blown. I think they've blown the most saves in the league. It's like the fans, and I'm sure the manager, Joe Girardi, has absolutely no confidence in any of the guys that he's trotting out there. I mean, Hector Neris, I believe, he's got 2 saves in his last 6 opportunities, and they've blown, 23 saves this year, which is, I think, one more, and it's a record. But what do you think? What's in the mind of these guys as a reliever, as a former reliever? Can you kind of dissect what they're going through?
It's funny. It's funny when you text me the other day about coming on the show. I was like, yeah. I talked to one of the kids in the dugout that day about relievers, and he asked me about, like, what's the difference in, like, you know, it's so funny. He actually asked me, what's the difference in a bullpen that's going good and a bullpen that's going bad? And I go, well, a good bullpen, there's no difference. You just you just kind of stay the same and do the same stuff every day. You start changing everything, start trying to figure out a new way, new seats in the bull, whatever, all that superstitious stuff. And we were talking about it with him, and he said, what'd you guys do? And I said, well, we all just did the same stuff. We had a fun time in the Phillies bullpen. We just went out and did our jobs, but that's when things were going good. I had looked right at him. I go, I really wasn't there when the bullpen went bad in 08 and 09. We had a little struggle here in 09 here and there, but it was pretty good for the most part. And he kind of goes, well, that must be nice. And I said, yeah, it was.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, do other players, when a reliever, look, I know the game, there's ups and downs, and you got to keep an even keel. But when a bullpen like the Phillies is letting the team and the fans down time and time again, does that start to wear on the players? Do the players start to have a different, I don't know, like, do they look at you funny in the dugout or the locker room?
I imagine there's some that do. If you notice it, I didn't notice things like that. I know there was times when I was with the Cubs where I pitched, I was thinking as I jogged past the left fielder, I'm thinking, God, he's thinking, oh God, Scott's coming in. You know, and you do think stuff like that, but, you know, I was blessed, and I'm not saying this because I'm in Philly, but I was blessed with teammates in Philly that didn't let that happen. You know, they were there to pump you up, make sure you figured out what was going wrong. And, you know, it's also, and not saying anything against Girardi or any manager, but it takes, the player has to do the job, but, you know, they got to be put in the right situations. Like, and then not by, in my opinion, again, didn't want to talk numbers. I'm not a numbers person, analytical number, no chance, no way, no thanks. Don't understand half of it. But sometimes you just got to find a guy who you think is right for a spot and stick him in that spot for a while and let him get comfortable in it. It's hard to say. I from what I've watched the Phillies bullpen, no one seems to have a specific role. It kind of bounces around. But things are also different. There was no JC pitched to one lefty in the 8th and I face one guy in the 7th. You can't do that anymore. So it's a little different.
Scott Eyre is our guest here on the Locker Room. Scott, it's Pete Thompson. And yeah, you just touched on exactly where I was going to go with my next question, which is established roles and how nice it was for you guys in your bullpen, JC Romero or yourself or the bridge to Lidge. You had Mad Dog in the 8th and then Lidge in the 9th, and everybody knew their role, and it was rinse, lather, repeat, right? I mean, it was basically just run it again and again and again. Now, to your point, Joe Girardi's really tried everyone, right? He replaced Neris with Alvarado, right? And then he blew a save. He tried Archie Bradley. He coughed one up in New York. And even Suarez, who I will throw in some numbers, 0.85 ERA, 29 strikeouts, 8 walks, and 31 and 2/3 innings since getting called up in May. Suarez has been pretty good. Even Suarez gave away a lead last weekend and was dinged for a blown save on Friday night. So why do you go back to that guy? Or, you're just trying to, how important is it then? My question is, how important is it to establish roles? But do you have any empathy for Girardi when he's like, good Lord, who the hell do I bring in?
Yeah, at some point, and I've been on some teams where some days you're like, who do I send in today? Been on some teams where you went, who do I send in today? They're all going to get outs as well. I think I've been on both sides of the coin right there, but I do feel bad for Girardi because it's not like he's trying to send the wrong guy out there to do the job. What it all comes down to, the player has to do his job. Whatever your job may be that day, and I think that's what we understood in '08. Especially, I learned as soon as I got there that once you understood your role, your job. When I got there, my job was to come in 6th, 7th, possibly 8th if JC needed a day off. But I was a 6th, 7th inning lefty guy. Come in and get a couple guys out and be done. See ya. Go have a beer. But the best part was to be ready to do it the next day because he was just going to go right back to you. But everybody knew when, like after and not a knock on Clay Condrey at all, but after like the 6th inning, he was like, "Yep, I'm done." He'd flip his feet back up in the chair and then get into coaster mode. He goes, "Yeah, I'm done, boys. I'm out." It was just how it was. Everybody knew and everybody laughed about it, and we had a good time and understood it. And I think everybody was okay with it. Nowadays, everybody wants to be at the front and on the cover and this, that, and I don't know if anybody really wants to be that one batter lefty I was for a few years. I thought it was fun. I loved it.
It does take a certain mentality to be that guy who wants the ball in that situation. Some may call that crazy.
What I said, like relievers, starting pitchers, goalies,
right,
quarterbacks, you guys all have to have a special mentality.
Yeah, I did it. I actually did enjoy pitching with men in scoring position and things like that, especially if it wasn't my runs. I think I was actually historically a better reliever with someone else's runs on base. Me trying to protect them than protecting my own that I got on there myself.
Now, Scott, I think
I'm proud of, actually.
Absolutely. I think you were a pretty good fielding pitcher, as I recall. But we're talking a lot of bullpen and relief questions, but I also would like to get your take on the defensive alignment or the defensive capabilities of this Phillies team, because, again, Joe Girardi can't go out and play all 9 positions, but they are so bad defensively, booting the ball
50 errors
and giving extra outs.
Yeah,
if you were the bench boss, if you were the skipper, how would you fix that?
Maybe extra ground balls every day, less hitting. I don't know. The game's changing so much. Even since I just finished in 2009 was my last year. Not that long ago. And even in the kids I coach nowadays. Like you'll ask them, you want to take some ground balls? No, I'm going to go hit. Everything's about offense. They want to go hit. And that's good. But, the ones that truly rise above are going to be the ones that can obviously do both. And that's just been the history of the game. You can't do both. You really aren't going to last as long as you'd like. So, you got to be able to do both things.
We're talking with Scott Eyre, 2008 World Series champion, Philadelphia Phillies relief pitcher. Scott, by contrast, if the bullpen is faltering, do does the manager have to show confidence in his players and keep going back to them to get them out of that? I mean, at what point do you say enough's enough? Like Neris is 2 for his last 6 save opportunities. Has he had enough, or do you think, or would you, if you were the manager, continue with Hector Neris? Like to show confidence, I guess.
To me, you got to show confidence for a little bit. Got to throw the gut in there and do the old Leroy Jethro Gibbs gut move.
I like that.
If it works, it works. Yeah, I like NCIS. I had to throw it out there. You gotta go with the gut. You gotta go with the gut sometimes, and then sometimes you gotta just take a step back and go, I'm gonna look at this guy here and go, yeah, you know what? You want to close? Yeah, you're gonna have a chance to close. Here, try this out for him. Something like that. I'm not saying do that. Obviously, don't pick someone off the whim of your hat, but numbers will dictate. You're like you said. I'm actually just looked it up when you said it. Is it Ranger? Is that how you pronounce it? Ranger? Ranger.
Yeah, Ranger. Like the little Ford truck, Ford Ranger. Okay. Yes.
In 31 innings, I'm looking. He's got 14 hits, 29 punch outs, 8 walks. That's what I see. That's what I was going to say. The only thing I looked up their stats. I haven't watched as much as I'd like to watch lately. I've been busy, but they walk a lot of batters. And for 30 innings, you got 14 walks, 27 walks in 30 innings, 12 walks, 15 walks. And then you got Ranger here with 8 walks and 29 strikeouts. It's to the point. Is it to the point of the season? Like, I'm asking the question to you guys. Is it to the point of the season where you just look at this kid and go, is he going to be a starter someday, or is he going to be a closer right now? And here you go. Here's your job, kid. Try it out.
Well, and speaking
of that point of the season, at 39, or what are we, 39 and 42?
Right.
41, I believe. 39.
41. Yeah.
41.
Speaking of guys that have bullpen stuff, though, there's another guy that's frustrated Phillies fans and us for years is Vince Velasquez, right? You look at Vince Velasquez and he can make it one time through or maybe 2 times through the lineup, but by the time they start to see him a second time or definitely a third time, he seems to get lit up. And for years, Mike Gill, myself, there's other people that sit there and think, why don't you just use this guy in the bullpen if that's all he can give you?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Now you got a starter, and I was going to say you got a starter in Vince that could possibly be a very dominant couple inning reliever or possibly a closer with his stuff. Even but again, he walks too many people for me. 33 walks in 64 innings. That's a lot.
What's frustrating, though, then he comes out the other night and he pitches a pretty good ball game and gets himself a victory. Right? Pete.
Well, no, like I said, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, like I said, I haven't watched as many games this year, but every time I do seem to turn on the game, it's Eflin pitching or Velasquez. And every time I watch, they just dominate. I'm like, what the hell? And then I look at the numbers and not so good.
I'll text you the next time Zach Wheeler's pitching. I'll text you to remind you, hey, Zach Wheeler's pitching. You want to watch this one?
By the way, just to let you know how well Zach Wheeler has pitched, he's dropped his ERA down to 2.05 and now leads the National League in strikeouts at 139. So he's having a pretty good year.
And again, it comes back to my thoughts. It doesn't walk many people. 25 walks, man.
Yeah, that seems to be the Phillies. They walk somebody, then they commit an error, then they give up a big hit, and it's just very frustrating. But Scott, I got to tell you, man, I really appreciate you taking time on the 4th of July. You're a friend of the show. We're really excited to have you on as always, and I really appreciate it. Have a happy 4th of July, and enjoy your time down there in Florida.
Oh yeah, I'm realizing the last couple of days and all the rain why I moved to North Carolina.
That's right. Well,
I don't have to worry about this supposed hurricane coming right towards us.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Stay safe, Scott Eyre. We're so thrilled to catch up with you, my friend. Stay safe, okay?
Hunker down.
Yeah.
I will. You guys be good, Pete. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care, man. Scott Eyre, our guest here on the Locker Room on the Barbs, Harley Davidson Hotline. Love having him on every time.
The first hour of the Locker Room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that help you through the entire process from contract signing to closing, from the shore to center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. For more information, call our good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Kent Dunnick. But were you aware of the private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give him a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. By the way, they had a big Legacy event at the Tropicana
all right,
on Thursday night. I was not able to attend, but they are always great shows that they put on. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up the first hour. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. America,
Outstanding, PT. America!
I took my hat off for that.
Ba-boom, ba-boom, and then the guys are skating around the ice.
I took my
getting
hat
ready
off
for
for
Game
that.
6.
Hey, I'm listening to the song. I'm trying to listen to the song. I took my hat off for that. It was so good.
You know, of course, every time we hear that song, it reminds us of Kate Smith.
That is correct.
Whose statue is no longer standing.
What? Is it still in the Wildwood?
Wells Fargo. Where is that?
I thought it was in Wildwood.
Did they bring it down to Wildwood?
I thought they had it down in Wildwood, but I don't know if it's out and displayed. But I thought that's where it ended up.
You know,
I wasn't mistaken.
When they tore that down, I went over there that day.
I remember you were on Fox 29.
I
remember that. That was like your big, hey, man, I texted you the picture.
That's right.
And trust me, I never usually watch Fox 29.
My daughter had Eliza Grace with me, too.
Yeah, I mean, look,
you don't have to touch that.
I mean, come on. That's
just stay away from that. We don't want to get in trouble.
You're going into some third rail stuff here, but I was a little disappointed. Don't touch the third rail.
I love it, third rail.
Yeah.
So, Pete.
Yes, sir.
So there were a lot of people at the Ron Jaworski golf outing.
Yes, and we're going to listen to some of those interviews.
To some of the
in the second hour.
Are there other names that you saw that you just did? Well, like what time was the press?
Well, okay.
When was the press availability?
The press availability was supposed to be 10:15 to 11:15. Okay. After I got done the microphone fiasco, finally finding the adapter that I needed, and got there and got set up. But first of all, it was hot.
Yes,
I mean, it was really, really hot.
Because I worked in a parking lot there.
And I mean, some of the people that I like. Merrill Hodge was there, but he was just getting ready to tee off, so I didn't stop him, and then there was a guy that kept walking back and forth, and I kept looking at him like, God, man, that guy looks familiar. It was Rich Gannon.
Oh, how about that?
Rich Gannon was there, who I think doesn't have a place in Ocean City.
I'll text him right now.
So he was there. I heard Paul McFadden's name was there. I had a wonderful lunch with Merrill Reese. Hello, Peter. This is Merrill Reese. Is this chair taken? I'd like to sit down and have lunch with you. Merrill and I had a nice talk about he's joined Marion. He's a member of Marion Golf Club.
How about that?
So, it was just really great to see him.
You're familiar with a lot of faces. Are there anybody that a lot of people you didn't recognize that were celebrities, pro players?
Well, you know what? One guy went by me and I looked at him. I thought, God, I think I know who that was. And I texted him just to confirm because he had a ping bag from like your era, like the 80s. Brian Baldinger was there.
Baldy was there?
Yeah, but he was already on the course playing.
We love Baldy.
I love Baldy.
He's
fantastic.
You mean you just couldn't walk up to him on the green and say, hey, can I interview
he had played 10 and he played 9 and he was going to the back 9. He was on the course. I mean, there were people that played in the morning and people that played in the afternoon. But we got some nice interviews for you on the other side.
All right, first hour is in the books. Hour 2 is ahead of us. Pete Thompson was at the Ron Jaworski golf tournament. We'll play a lot of the sound from that. It's a beautiful Sunday. It's the 4th of July. It's the 4th of July Locker edition with Pete Thompson, Billy Schweim, right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. Happy 4th of July, everybody, from the locker room with Billy Schweim, Pete Thompson, right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. Pete, I didn't ask you, what do you have on your plate this afternoon for the 4th of July celebration?
Now, you said plate. Are you talking about food? Because I know that was something you wanted to get into.
Well, yeah, what's on your plate?
I mean,
first of all, before I ask you about your plate,
right.
What are your plans for this afternoon? The Phillies are on at 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
tonight.
that's part of my plans. I'll definitely be watching the Phillies. I definitely will be spending some quality time with my lady. I love that Scott Eyre brought up NCIS. That's my girl and I. That's our thing. Because for some reason,
you're not going to watch
the show's only been on 17 years.
You're not going to watch that today on 4th of July with the bright sunshine out. And
it is gorgeous. No, we're going to go see some fireworks, and we do have a couple.
How about creating a little your own fireworks?
Hey, now I thought it's not even noon.
Hey, now, huh?
It's not even noon. Jeez, sis.
Is it like it's going to be 5 o'clock somewhere for you?
No, but I mean, I just didn't expect you to go there. My goodness, I think I'm blushing.
You are.
I'm turning as red as my shirt.
All right, what's on your plate this afternoon?
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to go see the fireworks somewhere, and we discussed that. And for her, she said somewhere that we can park. So like in the 50s, we're going to go parking. That's exactly what we're going to do.
Inspiration point,
something like that. How do you want me to sing? I found my thrill, right? Like Richie Cunningham used to do.
All right, and barbecue.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. The standard staples, the hot dogs, the hamburgers, the corn on the cob. Nothing better than sweet Jersey corn.
Absolutely. I'm 100%.
Telling you,
I bought corn one time.
Somewhere else,
and it was like chewing in the cardboard.
Yeah,
I hated it.
Yeah,
and my brother said, "Where'd you get this?" And I'm not going to mention where I got it.
Right,
but it was god awful.
Yeah,
I cannot wait for the full fledged. It's out, but it's still early.
I mean, they talk about supporting local, and that's one of the things. When you find
Jersey tomatoes and Jersey corn,
right? The roadside stands.
Forget
about it.
There's
nothing better.
There's nothing better. So today I will, after the show, I'm going to hightail it back to Collingswood today.
Okay, good.
We have a block party.
That'll be nice.
For all the neighbors wanted to get in. They asked me to be the coordinator since I've been there the longest in college and know a lot of people.
Okay.
But we put together a block party. My daughter Eliza Grace is extremely excited. There's going to be water balloon fights. We got a guy bringing his grill right out. We got tents, chairs, tons of food. And so we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, I forgot to tell you about this, but I did want to mention the South Jersey Vikings. They are a youth travel team or youth football team, and they got a bunch of different age brackets, but their 10U team has been invited to play at the Offense-Defense All-American Bowl at MetLife Stadium. And then after that, they've been invited to go to Canton. So they're going to be a part of the Canton, Ohio, like the Hall of Fame stuff and all the stuff out there, the Gridiron Classic. Okay, so if you are out there listening.
And since you're talking about gridiron, there's only 23 days left before the Eagles report to camp.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Is that unbelievable or what?
Right. I mean, football is right around the corner, and part of that is, football's coming when Ron Jaworski has his Celebrity Golf Classic.
Yes.
Not long after that. And it'll be normal too, Billy. That's a big thing. In fact, some of the interviews that I did with some of these guys, I asked them about that. Like, listen, this event isn't being held over Zoom. This isn't a virtual event. That was something weird that I did over the pandemic. I was the MC for a charity event, a virtual banquet. I've been the MC for a lot of banquets.
Right.
I've never been the MC for a virtual banquet. So, South Jersey Vikings real quick, just to wrap this up, southjerseyvikings.com. And they obviously are looking for some help to defray that cost trying to go to Canton, Ohio for that Gridiron Classic national kickoff game.
Now, before to get into, we start playing your sound from the Jaworski tournament. On Friday, you guys were talking about me on the Sports Bash with Mike Gill. And I know I could just, when I'm driving, I just happen to be in my car and I'm riding. And you guys I can see your ears are pinned back. You guys got big smiles on your face because you like to give it to me. But when you break my stones, you got to be accurate with the.
I don't remember that I was breaking your stones too much. There's a certain host of the show that loves to tee it up, but I'm not necessarily going to jump in front of the bullets either. I mean, if you deserve it, you deserve it. For example, they generally don't shoot fireworks off when they're day games.
No, but I've been to four. Like usually they have. I'm saying why wasn't
the game has to be scheduled?
Why wasn't the game scheduled? That's what I'm saying. I know the game was scheduled for, but why wasn't the game scheduled? Is that a league thing or was that the Phillies thing?
It could have been a players' association thing too. I mean, also considering the fact
but
that
there were no. What I'm saying is there were no fireworks scheduled.
I know. I'm trying to explain that to you. Isn't today the last day of the series? Don't they start with somebody new tomorrow?
Yeah, right. Today's a getaway day.
So that probably has something to do with it
today knocks
too.
Today out. Well, I'm talking about yesterday or.
I mean, listen. And who's the opponent now? It's next weekend or it's the when are they
I
actually?
think they go on a little bit of a road trip. I think I heard the 16th is when they're scheduled.
Well, there you go. But who's the opponent? Is my question. Well, come on now. You got to look that up.
I didn't look that up. That's not necessary. I mean, I don't have to look that up. It's 16 days. How many days away? 12 days.
If you're going to make the argument that
I got to know who the team. I don't have to know who the team is.
You should know who they're playing on the 16th.
Why should I know that?
Because maybe it's a more attractive opponent, and that's why they.
That has no bearing on if they're going to have fireworks.
Are you kidding me? If they want to pack the house, if they want to have everybody in there. It's a second half thing, too, by the way.
You can have the Marlins in there going to pack the house. The fireworks is a grand spectacle over there at the Citizens Bank Park. Have you been to fireworks shows?
At Citizens Bank. And
I have
it's
like
the
3 or 4
Marlins.
times.
It's the Marlins who they play.
I just said that.
Yeah, so they play the Marlins. And all those games are, well, now they actually had to add a game because of the rain out the other day. But on the 16th, it's a 2-for-1, 2 for the price of 1. Right. 4:05 is the first game, 7:30 is the second game. So it'll be plenty dark by the time they shoot the fireworks.
Listen, I've been to fireworks. But
then it's Saturday. Great. So there's 2 days of fireworks, right?
Right.
16th and the 17th.
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's a spectacular event.
Yeah, well, you want it against a – look, the Padres actually drew a crowd. If the Marlins are coming in, you're not drawing anybody if you don't shoot off some fireworks.
By the way, just to throw out some stats before we move on from baseball.
Sure.
When the opponents score first, which they did yesterday, the Phillies were 11-22. Now they're 12-22 when opponents score first.
Gotcha.
When the Phillies score 4 or more runs, they're 28-14.
Yeah, the Phillies getting on the board first is usually a big thing. I mean, but even when they get on the board first, don't you always, as a Phillies fan, kind of feel like, it's only going to last for so long?
All right, I'm going to throw this stat out to you. It's going to blow your mind.
All right.
When the Phillies lead after, and by the way, you sent me all this information.
Oh, good. Okay.
When the Phillies lead after 6 innings.
This was in the Phillies notes?
This is in the Phillies.
I just sent you today's Phillies notes while you were talking.
Day late and $1 short.
What do you want me? They just came out 2 minutes ago.
Well, I adjusted them. I adjusted them because they played another game.
Okay.
But when the Phillies score first, they're 27-19.
The Phillies notes came out at 10:54. It's 11:09. I think that's a pretty good average of me sending you the Phillies notes.
By the way, the Phillies are now at home. They're 24-15 at home.
Yeah, they're a much better team at home than they are on the road. Absolutely. And today you've got Vince Velasquez. Here we are talking about Vinny Velo. You've got Vince Velasquez going against Blake Snell. 1:05 start time.
And how about this for a little stat for you, Pete? On Friday, it was 28 years ago that Mitch Williams had that walk-off at 4:40 in the morning.
I was at that
against the Padres.
I was at that game.
Now tell me, Pete, weren't people coming into the stadium while the bars were letting out?
Absolutely. I mean, that was back in the Prism days, but absolutely. The fact, bars would have they had the game on, and
bars close at 2:30.
That was the second game, by the way, of a doubleheader.
Which started at 1:28 in the morning.
I mean, the whole thing was, I remember distinctly too. I don't remember who the home plate umpire was, but he told Jim Fregosi, he said, second game starts at 1:30 or something like that. And Fregosi was like, what? We're still playing the second game? Like he couldn't believe it. But yeah, they played that second game and that was there. Mitchie Poo. Hey, Phillies are 51-48 all time on July 4th. And today marks the 100th game in franchise history on July 4th in the city of Philadelphia. So there's some nice numbers there since you're throwing out all the numbers.
Yeah.
You know why I knew that? Because I'm looking at today's.
All right, Pete, we're looking forward to hearing all your the interviews that you did. How'd the microphone work well?
I thought it worked great. Right. Who would you like to tee up? I mean,
we'll do it when we get back.
Oh, okay. I understand how this works. All right.
You know what, Pete? The second hour of the locker room is brought to you by, you know who it is brought to you by?
Sure.
The Great Bay Country Club.
That's correct.
Where it's not just golf, it's fun.
Sure.
Make Great Bay Country Club.
I thought you were going to say it's not just golf. It's always a great day at Great Bay.
Make Great Bay Country Club.
Your club. See my friend, Radio Ron Ralston. Go down there and what else is in that read? I don't have the script in front of me.
I know.
It's a great day at Great Bay.
It's over the 3 hour and
something
58 minute
minute
round.
Yeah.
Very good.
Stay on task.
Absolutely.
I just played Great Bay.
You
It's
can
in
play on
awesome shape.
They're great shape.
Yeah, it really is.
You can play on that 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining experience, lively atmosphere in the pub. There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. You got to go down there and be a member. It's so cool. Look, you know what, Pete? You can go golf in the morning, get all 3 hours, 58 minutes, and then you're on the beach by noon, by 1.
100%. Yeah, get that early time.
All right, for more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Friends.
Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears.
Americans. Let me tell you about Maserati the Mainline. Located just minutes from downtown. Located for minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan and the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati the Mainline also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati the Mainline offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati the Mainline at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, PT will play a little sound from the Ron Jaworski Golf Tournament. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, PT, on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. The grand old flag. You're a high-flying flag. Forever in peace may it wave.
Let the professionals take care of this.
Of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue.
Not bad. Not bad.
Like that, eh, PT?
You know the words. I'm proud of you for knowing the words.
PT, I get emotional. You know I'm an emotional guy.
I know you get choked up at the AT&T commercial. Yeah, I know. I know.
The AT&T commercial.
Whatever, the old phone commercial or the old, call your mom or call your dad. Oh, Billy starts crying.
I'm like Dick Vermeil.
That's fine.
I was at my daughter's kindergarten graduation. I was in tears.
Yep. Sobbing. Sobbing.
Gene Hart, when I watched the replay of the 73-74 Flyers with Gene Hart on the call.
And his excitement.
By the Bobby Clark goal in Game 5, I guess it was. I'm in tears.
Yep.
I'm like hyperventilating in tears. When I listen to Harry Callis do the replay of the 93 Phillies teams or a replay of the 1980 Super Bowl losing Eagles to the Raiders, I'll still be in tears over that.
Right. Hey, listen.
Why is that?
Because it reminds you of nostalgia. It reminds you of your youth. You could go back on YouTube and find the Phillies and the Astros series, that NLCS, which is one of the greatest playoff series of all time.
Yes.
You had Nolan Ryan and Steve Carlton in that deciding, I believe it was Game 5. I think it was only 5 games back then. And, oh, my gosh, just to hear the broadcast and, a young Tim McCarver was on the broadcast.
Timmy, remember he's
yeah, sure. But, just to hear Harry's voice and call those iconic moments, of course it gets you a little choked up.
All right, so Pete, you had an opportunity to get down to the Ron Jaworski golf outing the other day.
I did.
You will be you'll be compensated for your work.
Oh, thanks. I thought I did it for free. This is great.
Well, tell us a little bit about what you did.
Well, I ran into a bunch of people there, a bunch of celebrities there, and basically you gave me a microphone. I finally found the adapter, and then I found some guys and tried to ask him some thoughts both about playing in the tournament and then what was content relevant to who they were. And the first person that I saw and immediately recognized, he's been on the show before, but that was Mickey Morandini. And I will say this, you gave me marching orders to do what? You told me, make sure I close every interview by saying,
this is Pete Thompson for the Locker Room on 97.3 ESPN.
All right. Now we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You said you kind of
4, 5, 6. Yeah, I don't think I think I might have closed
which
one
is unlike
out
you. Which is
appropriately.
unlike you.
Well, what you'll notice though, Billy, is that when you're interviewing somebody like that,
that's going to affect your paycheck,
dude. When you're interviewing somebody like that, you're not going to close with some canned.
Yes, you are.
Just listen to one and then judge. Okay, right, this is Mickey Morandini.
Mickey Morandini
at the Ron Jaworski Celebrity Golf Classic. Phillies great Mickey Morandini, who of course is happy today because the Phillies coming off a win. Finally, we talked to Larry Boa recently, and it kills you guys sometimes to see the team when they struggle, right? And there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh yeah, it's been a while. I mean, it really has. It's been a while, and it seems like for about 3 or 4 years here, we've had a really good team that just can't finish ball games. You know what I mean? We've lost so many games that we shouldn't lose, and we're in that stretch right now where we really should be in first place right now if we could just hold on to some leads. And our offense hasn't even gotten going yet. I mean, they've been very inconsistent. So I think there's some positives here, but they got to clean some things up if they're going to stay in this race. That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, when you have a starting 3 like the Phillies do right now, and then Nola like a MLB record the other night, and yet that goes by the wayside. For nothing as fundamental as just fielding the ball. I kept playing the Bull Durham clip on the show the other day. You field the ball, you catch the ball, right?
Yeah, it's frustrating, and I think everybody knew that this wasn't going to be a great defensive team, but I thought they'd be better than this. I mean, their issues are just really catching and throwing the ball, and as a major league ball player, you got to be able to do those things to win ball games. And you'll see, teams that go far in the playoffs usually have really good defenses. So that's something we really got to clean up.
So this is going to air before the deadline, but of course the big question is, are they buyers or sellers? And, put your GM hat on. I'm going to let you be the GM for a minute. If you were the GM as they're currently constructed, are you really buying anything?
Well, I'm not selling a lot. I mean, there's some pieces that if they're out of the race or don't think they're going to be in the race, they could definitely sell and maybe get some prospects for. But, we got some really good pieces in place, and I'd hate to see them blow this thing up. Now, obviously, health is a big thing, but, like you said, it's still really early. We got another probably, month of baseball before the deadline, so a lot of things can happen. But the way these teams have been playing in the NL East, nobody's going to jump out, and take the lead. So I would assume we may do a little buying more than selling. I really do believe that.
And because you were an infielder, could you talk about some of the names the fans might not have known before the season started, but are really stepping up? I'm specifically thinking of Torres and Bo's favorite, Maton, right?
Yeah, I didn't even know Maton. When he brought him up, I was like, where'd he come from? But you know what? He brings a lot of energy to this team, and I think that's what they need. All these young kids, Williams and Torres, they all bring energy, and it's fun to watch, and they play the game the right way, and they look like they're excited to be on the ball field. So I hope they continue to do what they're doing, get a lot of playing time, and we don't have a lot coming up right now. We got a lot of good players, but they're a little bit at the lower levels, and it's take some time. So we need these guys to step up, and they've been great.
Last one, I know you and Tommy are going to be in Wildwood. What's Mickey Morandini doing these days?
Well, I'm the Phillies team ambassador, so I do a boatload of appearances for him. I'll visit hospitals and schools, and obviously playing some charity golf tournaments and just things out in the community. So it's a great job. I love it, and hopefully I can do it for a long, long time.
That's Mickey Morandini, Pete Thompson for the locker room.
Perfect.
That was my attempt.
That's all.
All right. Sure.
That
okay.
was perfect.
It wasn't exactly the words that you told me to say.
That verbatim. That was excellent.
So did you pick up on a couple funny things there? One, the PA guy on the tee was introducing Tony Siragusa.
Yeah, so I was going to say
right over top of my interview.
That actually was great.
It was like Grand Central Station.
Yeah.
And then the second thing, and I laughed about this, is, we're there doing interviews and stuff. And this guy, my friend, Rob Kessner, who works for NBC 10 now, right? But he was the one that hired me at Comcast Sportsnet. He hasn't seen me since the pandemic. So he's like, hey, Pete. And then he realizes I got a microphone. He goes, oh, God, sorry. So Rob made it into our
the other thing that
too,
Mickey Morandini's an ombudsman for the Phillies.
Yeah,
how great of a job is that?
Ombudsman settles disputes. He's an ambassador. He shakes hands, kisses babies. You want me to tell you the difference?
I thought ombudsmen were people that promote a business or something.
That would be an ambassador. An ombudsman is somebody who settles disputes at a college, an official appointed to investigate individuals' complaints against maladministration, especially that of public authorities.
Oh, my bad.
So please do not use ombudsman when you're trying to talk about an ambassador.
I'm getting reprimanded by my employee.
Well, that's me. Listen, if it's words, I know it. So that was Mickey Morandini. Who else do you want to go to? I've got
your choice, Pete.
Dealer's choice?
Yeah, dealer's choice.
All right. Well, in that case, we'll go to the host of the event next. This would be Ron Jaworski. Hang on.
By the way, he's great.
He's awesome.
He's the best.
All right, here we go. Here's Ron Jaworski at the Ron Jaworski Celebrity Golf Classic. I am at the Ron Jaworski Celebrity Golf Classic Challenge Extraordinaire with none other than the namesake, Ron Jaworski. My God, how long have we been doing this, Jaws?
37 years. Pretty remarkable that I just get more energized. As you can see, the people that we have here every year, the quality of celebrities that support this, our sponsorship, the community in itself. We've raised a lot of money. Over that 37-year period, over $6 million for at-risk kids in our community. And without the support of the community, we couldn't help these kids. From the sponsorship to the Doug Petersons and Jason Kelsey's and the Rich Gannons of the world, I mean, it's pretty remarkable that this continues to move forward. Despite a pandemic and all the things that have happened, it's just good to see so many people out here.
Yeah, pandemic. What pandemic? I mean, how did you survive through that, and how did you power through that? What took place in the interim that we missed you guys?
Well, I'm not going to kid anybody. We all know how hard it was from a business perspective from running events like this. We had a scaled-down event last October. We didn't have the Harris pool party, and we didn't have the parents party, but we had the golf, and it was incredible. All our sponsors stayed with us. All our golfers stayed with us. They realized there's a bigger need right now in our community to help kids. And that's the bottom line here. We're helping kids. And the sponsors all came back. The celebrities all came back. And we were sold out. Once the casino industry opened up and once Atlantic City opened up and people could stay in the hotels and eat dinner in the hotels and have our parents party at the pool, we're oversold. Oversold. So it's been a great turnaround. But hey, we suffered like everyone else through a very difficult time, in our country's history with the pandemic.
I love to rib you about the first time I met you on the 15th tee at Green Valley Country Club with a pair of plaid pants that, today would go for about 78 cents. But you hit it on the green. I remember that. The late Jimmy Gallagher was like, hey, you want to meet this guy? This is young Peter Thompson. Like, that's the first time that I met you. Golf has been a big part of your life.
So what's wrong with plaid pants? That's golf. Come on. You can do that as a golfer. I wouldn't wear it anywhere else, but on the golf course, you can get away with that. So, I just think the golf community are such good people. People play golf to get away. During the pandemic, the golf business boomed because you got 5 acres for every person out here. That's social distancing,
before we knew what it was.
Steroids, yeah. So the golf business has been good. People love to be out. Their masks are off for most people. Some people have pre-existing conditions. They take care of themselves. Hey, as long as you're comfortable, you come to the golf course. But it's really been a nice comeback.
2 more, and they're about football. I know you were on the committee to get Doug Peterson. Did you have any involvement in bringing in Nick Sirianni, and what's your impressions of him so far?
I had zero involvement bringing Nick Sirianni. Those interviews were held in Palm Beach at Jeffrey Lurie's place in Palm Beach, so I wasn't commuting to Palm Beach, but I was very, very excited when I was on the committee to help hire Doug Peterson, and that worked out well. So, and Doug's here. He's a tremendous coach, but beyond that, he's a tremendous person. He comes back here to Philadelphia. This is not the first event he's been to in Philly. Mike Quick has a tournament for the first tee. Doug comes up from Florida. He's been to this event. I think every year we've had it, he comes back up here to support the community. We all know he's an iconic figure in this community as a Super Bowl champion head coach, but he's more than that. He's a Super Bowl champion person. He's made a lot of friends in this community. He's given back in this community, and his legacy is embodied as a Super Bowl winning coach. But I think Doug Peterson is a lot more than that. He's a great person.
And the last one is, I know we stood on a tee somewhere, or we were at a press event somewhere one time, and I asked you what the Eagles need. The draft was coming up, and you were thinking receiver. Well, they got a receiver, and boy, did they get one in the Heisman Trophy winner. Your thoughts on who they picked?
Devontae Smith is special. He's a special kind of player. His shadow can't catch him. He's that fast and that quick and gets off the ball very, very well. I think this is an excellent player that's going to be in a good Nick Sirianni scheme. There's going to be balance. Nick likes to run the football. There's going to be balance that'll set up the play-action passing game. If Rayer can get his act together, we can, 2 number 1 draft choices. It could be a dynamic wide receiving core. So I'm optimistic. And Nick knows how to run an offense. I've watched him in San Diego. I've watched him in Indianapolis. He knows how to.
Outstanding. He's the best.
He is the best.
He's the best.
Our hair was a different color, and I threw right on top. I had some. I met Ron when I was like 13 years old, I believe. So, that's like 84 at Green Valley Country Club in Lafayette Hill. And he had these plaid pants on, and I told him I love to tell that story. Him and Bill Berge came through. They both hit the ball a ton with those tiny drivers back then. But yeah, him and the late Jimmy Gallagher, who was the Eagles PR guy for many, many years. My first ever press pass. I got a press pass when I was in high school, Billy. for the Eagles, for the Plymouth White Marsh Town Crier. And the funny thing was, I was like in row C of the press box, all the way down. I had like a sewer pipe next to me. I could only see half the field.
Did your picture taken with any players?
I did not try to get my picture taken with any of the players. I knew enough to know not to do that. Jeez.
The second hour of the Locker was brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on the 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, or experience lively atmosphere in the pub. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. And we get down there and say hello to Radio Ron Ralston, Ryan Owens down there, Kevin Kelly, the whole family. It's a great place to play golf. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more Pete Thompson interviews at the Ron Jaworski Golf Tournament. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. All right, Pete. This
If
is
you
one of
didn't know any better, how old would you think that person
well,
is?
I was just
Yeah,
brilliant
it's
minds
like,
think alike. I was going to ask the
we're
same
brilliant.
question, Pete.
That was a
A
7-year-old Malia
7-year-old,
Emma at the Seattle Sounders versus LA Galaxy game a couple years ago now. It's about 3 years.
unbelievable.
So now she's the ripe old age of 10.
Unbelievable. Look, I have a daughter that's 6.
Right. How old is Alexa
And for
Grace?
her,
6?
right, she just turned on the 29th of June. This girl to be 7 years old and having those type of pipes.
Right. And stand up in front of all those people. And, listen, the national anthem is a hard song to sing to begin with.
Absolutely.
Then, have you ever tried to do it in public?
No,
like if you've got the earpieces in and
No.
the reverb
be able
and
to
you
do
got to
it.
avoid the echo and stuff, yeah, it's tough. So
Now, Pete, did you see I guess it was last week or 2 weeks ago, the Islanders at the Islanders game, the whole crowd just took over.
I love that.
And
I love that.
woman that was singing the national anthem, she just stopped.
Why wouldn't you?
With the whole crowd.
If
sang the national anthem.
19,000 people are doing that, we called this up on YouTube, obviously. And one of the things that's on there is when the Boston crowd sang the national anthem and all took over right after they had the bombing up there after the Boston Marathon and stuff like that.
And then real quick, another one that's my favorite of all time is when the girl was singing a little girl was singing the national anthem.
Forgot the words.
I forgot the words.
And Mo Cheeks
Cheeks
came over and did it.
Like,
I got another one for you. So I teach at ACIT.
Sure.
So not this year because of the pandemic and everything, but last year I was doing the PA, and usually I do them for the girls' games, but it was a boys' game, and so there were some different people there, and I'm reading the script, and now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise, gentlemen, remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem, and I pause. And there's nothing. They're supposed to play the national anthem.
Right.
And people are like, the two teams are on the court. There's maybe 30 people in the stands, tops, but the two teams are on the court. They're kind of looking over at the scores table, like, where's it at? I'm looking off to like where the speaker is, like where they play Nothing's happening, and I said, the playing of our national anthem, still nothing. So I'm sitting there holding the live microphone. I'm like, oh my God, I have to do this. So I start singing the national anthem.
No way.
Billy, I got through about the first verse, and then the national anthem started playing.
Oh, that is so cool, Pete.
Right. But thankfully,
hats off to you.
Nobody was recording it, so I did the best I could.
Let's get back to your interviews.
Yes,
you were over at
please.
the Ron Jaworski golf tournament, and the next person we're going to hear from is Mike Quick.
Yeah, Mike Quick was out there, the color analyst for the Eagles.
And a great friend of the locker room.
Good friend of the locker room, and a guy that understands a little bit about what it's like to pick up a good receiver. Here's Mike Quick. It's not too small to play in the NFL.
Well, he's not too small because he's big where it really counts. He has a big heart. He's not a guy that's going to shy away from any competition or any adversity within that competition. I think he's going to be a fantastic pro, just the same way he proved it at Alabama. When you look at him playing out of Alabama, no one said, "Oh, he's too small to play." He's just making plays. And when you can dominate the position at that level, and that's the highest level of football until you get to the NFL, and he was able to dominate the position at that level. I got a lot of respect for that, and I got a lot of hope for his future in the NFL.
You've been listening to Mike Quick at the Ron Jaworski Celebrity Golf Classic. Thanks, Mike. See, that time I forgot to say for the locker.
But that's right, because now we're into it.
You're not
all right, let's go right to another one real quick.
You're not going to fire me? All right, this is John Runyon, former Eagle John Runyon. Here we go. John Runyon.
Friend of the show.
We're here with John Runyon, who was just talking to Greg Roman at the Ron Jaworski Celebrity Golf Classic. What's that like for you to catch up with, offensive minds, just sort of talk shop? I didn't want to interrupt.
Well, I mean, it's just, because I'm on the rules and the rules enforcement side, so just getting everybody's input that they won't say in a big meeting. Sometimes, so it's awesome to have their support kind of on the back channel.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you can have a conversation like that casually, and maybe he finds something out, you find something out. Now, listen, you played a lot of roles. Professional football player, politician. Now you're on this rules committee. Which one were you the most popular in?
None. I always see people didn't like me when I played. No one likes an elected official, and they don't like the guy that enforces the rules now. So I made a hell of a career out of being that bad guy.
Yeah, you're a total winner, 3 for 3. Hey, in all seriousness, though, the position that you played in the line, that line last year for the Eagles was decimated. And a rotating cast of characters. You can never get continuity when you have something like that. Do you think that was probably their biggest issue?
It's one of any, but anytime you have injuries, it's going to be ugly. Back when I played, there were I would say 2 or 3 seasons where we had all 5 starters play every snap. But then your quarterback would go down, and you still win games. So it really does come down to keep those guys healthy and have that continuity.
Tell me about this event, Ron Jaworski Celebrity Golf Classic. I know you like to support Ron and what he stands for, the Draws Youth Foundation. Last year, before we started, no masks. Now we're smiling. We're seeing smiles, and we're kind of coming through it.
Yeah, it's awesome when you back out. Unfortunately, the heating makes you be over 100 days. So it's going to be a little bit of a scorcher, but we'll be out here having a good time for a good cause.
Well, I like standing next to you because, big man and big man, we gravitate toward each other, right?
And we're sitting here dripping sweat everywhere.
John Runyon's been our guest. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome, Pete.
He's
3 for 3.
Yep.
Nobody hated him as the opposing teams hated him as a player.
Yep.
Dirty, right?
Very much so.
Considered.
He was effective,
very effective.
But him on a screenplay, if you saw him coming, that was like a road.
People hate politicians.
Yep.
He was that,
and now he's on the rules committee. Yeah. So you heard me mention at the start of that interview too. I sat there and it was Greg Roman, who's the Holy Spirit grad and the Ravens offensive coordinator, looking at John Runyon, and they were just kind of talking shop, and it was so good. I was like, I can't interrupt these guys. I can't bother these guys. But Greg Roman, I was really excited to get a chance to talk to him. Here's our interview with Greg Roman, the Holy Spirit grad and Ravens offensive coordinator. I'm here with Greg Roman, the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator, offensive mastermind, if you will, who's just fresh off a few minutes talking with John Runyon. First, let's start with that, Greg. How nice is that for you to be able to catch up with a guy like that and just pick his brain a little bit?
Oh, yeah. John does a great job. He's really and heavily involved in the different tweaks and adjustments and the monitoring of our game. And he does a great job, he and his staff. So anytime I get to bend his ear a little bit and get his perspective on some things, I think it's really valuable. He's a great guy, too.
So you're a local guy, but you're also the quarterback whisperer, a lot of people seem to refer to you as. Where you go, quarterback play improves. Why is that?
Oh, please. Good players play good. I've been blessed to be around a lot of really good ones, really dynamic ones. The one thing I'd say is I try to focus on their individual unique talents and tailor things towards them, what they do best or what they, and we're always working on rounding out everybody's game. But, not every offense is going to be as good as the 1988 Holy Spirit Spartans offense, but I'm going to try.
I like that. HS, we're the best. I just played in the Holy Spirit Fathers Club outing the other day, as a matter of fact. That was last Thursday. So still supporting the Spartans. Can you tell us a little bit then about how many times have you played this event, or is this your first time coming back, and what's it like to be home?
I used to play this golf course when it was actually 2 courses.
Yep.
And a long time ago. And I've never got to play in this. And this is the first time. We had a great event last night. Ron Jaws does such a great job. He's just such a great. He's a great guy, and you can see how hard he works to put this thing together and raise money for a really good cause. So it's great to be out here, and there's so many good people out here. We're just having a great time.
I guess it's important to ask, how's your golf game?
I don't play enough to be good, so every once in a while I get a decent shot, but I keep it in perspective. Definitely keep it in perspective.
So, last question just will be about football, and everybody survived through the pandemic. Football's starting to move forward. What changes do you think? What are some of the big changes you think we're going to see moving forward?
I don't think there's going to be a tremendous amount of changes, other than it's great to start getting back to normal. Last year was such a bizarre year.
No cardboard cutouts and fans, and actually,
yeah, and I mean it was surreal. It really was, and everybody's had to deal with it, and it seems like we're coming out of it, and that's a great thing. You can just feel the energy here, and just people getting together and interacting. That's great. It's just great to be back to normal, our way of life. So. I don't, as far as sweeping changes or whatnot, I don't really foresee any. But if they happen, we better adjust.
That's Greg Roman, Holy Spirit class of 1990, and he's playing in the Ron Jaworski Celebrity Golf Classic. He's been my guest here on the Locker Room with Billy Schweim. Thanks, Greg.
Oh, you bet. Thank you.
That's great to hear from a local guy.
I nailed that one, right? I got the out cue on that one.
Let's get to a break real quick. Second hour of the Locker Room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give a call at 609-927-501. Great Bay Country Club. Always a great day at Great Bay. Just about everybody's heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of the private business network they call the Legacy Club? If you have an interest in attending one of these events that seems to fit for your business, send the email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll play one more. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Unfurl the banner and raise.
All right, Pete, we're back here in the locker room. Now, Pete, your last interview was someone that I've had on my show before, but recently he's been avoiding me. He told me personally that he's shy, and ever since he told me he's shy, he's been on Action News, he's been on another radio station in Philadelphia, and then he's actually talked to you. So how shy was he?
He wasn't that shy. This
I don't
is
think so.
acoustics playing, by the way, just one more time in case the people at home want to know what we're playing on our patriotic day. That would be Joe Flacco you're speaking of. Joe Flacco wasn't shy when I asked him for an interview. I don't know what your deal is there, Billy. But, yeah, this is Audubon native and now Eagles backup quarterback, Joe Flacco.
I'm here with Joe Flacco, Philadelphia Eagles. All these years, man, you've had to have people from Audubon and everywhere going, you really want to come home. You really want to get back closer to home, don't you? And you're like, yeah, come on. You're finally here.
Right. Listen, when it became a somewhat real possibility, I definitely started to really get the pressure from all my high school buddies to make it happen. So I'm excited about it.
You're out here at the Ron Jaworski Celebrity Golf Classic, and hey, we don't have masks on. We're doing it. This isn't on Zoom. This isn't virtual. How nice is it to be here? I know you and Ron go way back.
No, it's awesome. I love coming out and supporting anything Ron does. So to be here is always special. He's a great friend and he does a great job in the community. So it's awesome to be out here.
I heard Mark from Channel 6 asking a little bit of football. I got to ask you a little football. I mean, first and foremost, what are your impressions of Nick Sirianni been?
Great. Nick's, he's young. He's excited. He knows his football. He's ready and excited to lead a bunch of men. So I'm excited. I'm excited about it just because you can see it in his eyes. And you can see how ready for this opportunity he is.
Did you have any relationship with Jalen Hurts beforehand? What's your relationship now? I mean, you kind of come in and go like,
Yeah, I didn't. And, obviously, he's just coming out of school. This was his first year last year. But, the little time that we spent together so far has been great. And, it's just only been – it's a shame it's only been as little as it's been just because, some of the stuff we were still doing this offseason. So I'm excited to get in there in training camp and get going for real.
Now, this one may come out a little weird, but, at one point you were the rookie. At one point you were the youngster. Now you're like the old gunslinger. You know what I mean? You're the old elder statesman. And I'm sure there were times when you saw stuff and you think, I'm never going to be like that.
Right. It goes like in the blink of an eye. You're from, the transfer from being a young guy to an old guy. It seems like it just kind of happens overnight. So, I still view myself inside as one of those young guys, so hopefully I can fit in and do my part.
And take a look at that gigantic flag right there, because this is going to air on July 4th.
That's right.
So this is going to air next Sunday on July 4th. Anything you want to tell all the listeners down here? And this is really South Jersey, 97.3. So tell them what you want to tell them on Independence Day.
Oh, well, listen, this is, I think we can all on that day celebrate, how lucky we are to live in this country and to take part in everything that we do. And I'm glad to be representing South Jersey and now the Philadelphia Eagles. So.
You're listening to Joe Flacco on The Locker Room on 97.3 ESPN.
All right, that's a great interview. He didn't sound too shy to me.
No, he loved it.
But he said it perfectly at the end.
Said all the right things.
He said all the right things.
Took us right up to the end of the show, too.
Great job, Pete.
Who produced this show?
You did today.
That's correct.
Great job. Outstanding, Pete. As always.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, happy 4th of July to you and your
too,
family,
sir.
and enjoy the rest of the day.
Don't forget to thank Scott Eyre for coming on.
Thanks, Scott Eyre, for coming on. Thanks, Pete Thompson, and all the guys you interviewed at the Ron Jaworski Golf Tournament. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with a Schweiner. Have a great week, everybody. Have a happy rest of your 4th of July. Sports Bash with Mike Gill on Monday with all the weekend sports scores and more.
It's a best of on Monday.
It's a best of,
FYI.
Right. All right. See you next week.
See ya.